for Oklahoma State softball. Very excited to have sophomore infielder Rosie Davis joining us here on the 1012 podcast. Rosie, welcome.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here.
We're thrilled to have you. This weekend was wild, absolutely wild. Look, as an Oklahoma State fan, obviously Big 12 show, but as an Oklahoma State fan, I'm used to the Cardiac Cowboys from a football standpoint. But I wasn't mentally and emotionally prepared this weekend for the Cardiac Cowgirls with what you guys did in Clearwater. I mean, that is as emotionally just like thrilling and exciting, and as I get older, bad for my heart conditions as I can imagine a weekend was. How are you and the team feeling after this past weekend?
I think we're walking out pretty great, especially walking out with our big win against Alabama. I think it really is helping us just set a tone for the whole year. And having two walk-offs is definitely very stressful. I see comments all the time just being like, wow, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through this season yet or not. And I'm just like, just trust the process. Like, we'll stop making you guys worry just as much as we just get going throughout the season.
You know, there's external expectations for programs, and then there's internal expectations for programs. And part of the reason I think external expectations for Oklahoma State this year, especially early on, are so high is because of how glowingly Coach Gajewski has talked about this roster and the talent on this roster and this team. He said this is his most talented roster he's had at Oklahoma State, which is some really high praise considering how good some of these teams have been. Mm-hmm. And so I think some fans maybe a little bit frustrated by the 5-4 start. I would point out that the schedule that you all have played is absolutely ridiculous up to this point. If I remember looking at the data correctly, Oklahoma State's played, if not the most, what we would consider probably quad one team so far. They're tied for the lead across college softball, which is an insane thing to say. Internally, where do you guys feel right now like you are as a team? Are you where you want to be? Obviously not playing to the level you want, but are you guys where you expected to be at this point in the season? Just like what's the vibe inside right now?
I think it's really just like we do have a really tough schedule. We're going out and playing these really tough teams, and it's really good for us this early to come out and play those really good teams because we're getting these quality reps in now, and these other teams who aren't playing as tough as schedules aren't getting these as quality games in. That's really going to it's going to prepare them for the World Series kind of. So, I mean, we're not winning and doing the best that we think that we could be doing or should be doing, but on the inside, I feel no freak out. Like, we're in the toughest schedule yet, and a lot of these games we're still coming out on top. And so I think it's just really it's just finding all the pieces that fit in the right spot for us. Like, we're still fighting through some things, digging through some things, just cleaning everything up. And internally, I feel no worry, but on the external, I could see the worry. But internally, I see as us as a team, I'm not worrying about us at all.
Like, I just like to remind fans, like Oklahoma State's had seasons where they start 5-4 and 4-4
Yes.
and are still in Oklahoma City for the Women's College World Series. There's a lot of softball to be played.
Yes.
What do you guys feel like you're focusing on right now? Like what are the conversations that you're having of saying these are the things that we need to be doing as we continue into the season, as we head towards more big matchups? You've got Nebraska, Missouri on the way, and obviously Big 12 play going to start with Texas Tech here in just a few weeks.
Yeah, I think it's just really focusing on it, having everyone's back. Some people are going to go out there and not have their best game, not have their best fielding game, their best pitching games, their best hitting games. But as long as you have each other's backs, like, you're going to get through things. And I think that's really important. And I think we've emphasized that a lot this past 2 weeks that we've been playing. It's all right, guys. Like, I got your back. If you have my back, I got your back. Like, everything's going to be okay. And I think that's something that we've really just started really dominating on. And also just going out there and giving it your 100%, no matter what. Sometimes people's 100% isn't always their best, but as long as you give it your all every time, then everything's going to be okay.
So we have to talk about your weekend for a second because, I mean, 7 for 14, 8 RBIs, 2 home runs, walked 4 times, 1 walk-off hit, and another hit that wasn't the walk-off but set it up for the win against A&M. I mean, an absolutely incredible weekend for you and performance for you. I mean, what do you take away from a weekend like that for yourself? Like, how do you take a weekend like that and both and make sure it doesn't affect you negatively and help you kind of continue as you progress through this season?
Yeah, I think something that I'm going to really focus on for the team this weekend is just having like the mental game that I did have. Like mentally I had a really good game, but even though we didn't always come out on top, like I still played really well. And so I think it's more of the mental part of just spreading that of like what I was thinking in the box in order for me to do these type of things. And I think that's something that's going to be really important this week is just telling expressing to the team like I walked up there with the chip on my shoulder and I knew that I was going to hit this ball no matter what, one for myself and another for my team because those pitchers walk out there and pitch their butts off for us, only allowing a couple runs a game. And so I just walk up there with the same chip that these pitchers have in the circle of just being like I'm going to beat you and I'm going to win. And so I think the whole team gaining that like mental perspective will be like a very big advantage for us.
I mean, especially in those spots there in the bottom of the seventh, like you all have to have those runs or the game is over. I mean, we're talking like sports drama of like down to final outs, having to get a hit. It's not just like it's the first inning or the third inning or the fifth. Like these are like the most high pressure moments, and you have been able to really, I would just argue, play some of your best at the plate in those spots. Like, what is your mindset in a spot like that versus other innings where you've been able to find that success? Is there a difference in the mindset, or is it just that's it just worked there?
I wouldn't say it's a huge difference in the mindset. I just every when I stepped in this box in this last like the seventh innings or whatever, I was really like this would be really huge for our team right now to get this walk off win to have some good things to take out of the weekend. And so it wasn't like it wasn't like like too much emotion, but definitely in practice, I talk about this all the time. Every single time I step in a cage or something, like I mentally prepare myself for being in those situations where it's bottom of the seventh inning, 2 outs, like this is what you work your tail off for. And if I think about those in the cages, when I get in the game and I get to those big moments, they don't seem so drastically big for me because mentally I prepare for these things for a really long time so I can be successful in those moments.
That's awesome. That's the dream, right? Like to mentally prepare for that situation, and when the opportunity presents itself, to be able to that work to pay off for you, not just once, but I mean twice this weekend. I mean, that's absolutely huge. I mean, that's your second walk off of your career. You had one against Wichita State last year. Now you've got two walk offs, and again, we have to give Carly the credit for the walk off, but
Yes.
it doesn't matter if you don't deliver the way you did before she came into the box. So it was awesome. I want to ask about hitting coach Vanessa Shippy-Fletcher.
Yes.
I know that she kind of took over that role late last year, and so now that you've had both a full season and a full off season with her as the hitting coach there at Oklahoma State. What are your thoughts on her as far as hitting coach at this point, and kind of what have you been working on with her entering this season?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't say enough nice things about Shippy. I mean, she has been an amazing hitting coach, been an amazing like person for me just to look at. I mean, you see her career and see how amazing she was. And it's really awesome and cool to see that she's back at the program to where she did have these amazing seasons at. But I can't say enough amazing things about her. She gives you so many different perspectives and lets you run with them. She doesn't try and change your swing to make you fit into this certain box because not everybody's going to fit into this certain box. And so I think her just being able to coach you the way that you want to be coached and the way that you want to be played is absolutely surreal. So I think having Shippy as my hitting coach has been one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And I've told her that many times. I'm like, I don't know what I would do without you being my hitting coach. Like, I can't say it enough how much you've grown the game for me. And so, yeah, I genuinely, I don't think I can say enough nice things about her.
It's awesome. Look, it's great to see her continued development from player to now full-time coach there at Oklahoma State. There's no Oklahoma State softball fan who doesn't know who she is and doesn't love to see her continue to find success there within the program. Obviously, Greg Bergeron was brought in this offseason to help kind of be use defensive coordinator as one of his titles is now. What has that transition been like going from Coach Gajewski calling the defense to Coach Bergeron?
It's been amazing. I mean, one thing that I will say about Bergie is that he paid attention to the small details. And so these things that maybe were overlooked in the past, not on purpose by Coach G, but just like not paid attention to, Bergie has done a really good job of just coming in here and just nailing things down for us. Also, I would just like to mention that he's the biggest goofball ever, and he loves to dance. He loves to do all of that. So also having that energy of just having fun is just really comforting when it comes to just such a mental game, but also he makes it so much fun out there for us.
That's awesome. Bergie. Okay, I won't call him Coach Bergie.
Oh,
I'll let you. No, it's fine. It's funny. No, this is good. This is what you want. You want the inside, the inside scoop on these situations. So I'll leave that to you. Looking at the schedule moving forward, you guys are headed to Arkansas for this weekend. You've got some games against UCA, SIUE. After playing these games against Florida State and Alabama and A&M and UCLA, how does your mindset shift, or does it at all, going from having to play teams of that caliber to, no offense to the teams that you're facing this weekend, but to teams that are at a different level from a talent standpoint than the ones you've been facing a lot?
Yeah, no, I don't think the mindset changes at all for us. I mean, we're still going out there trying to dominate, trying to win every pitch, win every bat, win everything. And so I don't think the mindset changes as much, because I think the sole purpose is still to go out there and win and give it everything you have. And that's kind of like our establishments as a team. And so I'm not sure our mindset will change that much, but so yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good. All right, Rosie, you've been awesome. I really appreciate your time. I know your voice is still recovering after a very exciting weekend with a lot of yelling and celebrating, which absolutely is deserved. But I want to wrap up on a few questions that I feel like I'm asking players all the season, just because I like to do some fun things as well. Okay. Number one is, what is your walk-up song?
My walk-up song, It's a Great Day to Be Alive by Travis Tritt. And I think it really sums me up a lot, because I'm a very happy person. And so when I go up there to the plate and I just hear the song, It's a Great Day to Be Alive, it just makes me very grateful every time I get to go up the box.
That's awesome. Okay. Peanut butter and jelly of choice.
Strawberry jelly.
Okay. Good call. What is your game day ritual?
I will always have a nutrition tea, like a Herbalife tea. And then also I have this superstition. I don't know if that falls into this box, but
oh yeah, it does.
Okay. My superstition is that I have to put my left sock on before my right sock, but then I also put my left sock on my right foot and my right sock on my left foot. Okay. So I just mix it all up.
You have a difference in left sock versus right sock? I've just put the socks on. Is there?
Yeah, apparently I do. It's just, I did it one time, and now I just do it every day now.
Okay, perfect. All right, good. Got it. Well, I was going to ask, throw a perfect game or hit a walk-off, but since you've already hit a walk-off, I feel like that kind of would answer that question.
Yes.
All right. Who is the biggest, let's use the word personality, on the team this year?
Biggest personality. I'm gonna have to go with Carly. I mean, she is the biggest. You might not be able to see it as much on TV, but she's genuinely the biggest goofball you will ever meet. And anybody who's on this team will probably say the same thing, that she is the biggest goofball, even though her facial expression might not show it, but she definitely has the biggest personality.
That's good. That's awesome. Okay. Last one. Best trash talk that anyone has thrown at you.
Ooh, thrown at me. Ooh. I'm not sure I've had much. I'm not going to lie. I've heard a lot of crap talking to my teammates, but they kind of just kind of go back and forth. But I don't know if I've really had that much to me.
Okay, well, then I'll follow up with, what's the best trash talk you've heard this season directed at any of your teammates?
It wasn't so much of a trash talk. It was more of like a body movement. Ruby was pitching, and I want to say she threw a change up in the dirt, and the batter looks at her and just shakes her finger at her leg. But then I would like to add after that she did indeed strike her out after that.
Karma is swift and
Yes, it
merciless
is.
every
Yes, it is.
single time. Rosie, thank you so much. Really appreciate you hopping on the show with us today. Good luck to you and your team this weekend and the rest of the season.
Awesome. Thank you so much.